In the many divinities of the ancient spiritual traditions, there are those divinities that survive in the popular consciousness, and those that, sadly, through the mists of time, retreat into the fog of forgetfulness. And in some ways, this is a great pity, because amongst these divinities are divinities whose popularity and cultic activity survived till quite late. And this particular divinity is one of those. He is the mighty, the beautiful god Nabu or Nabu. And he is commonly understood to be a god who is the patron of scribes. And very often when you read cuneiform texts, you'll find that written in the colophons of those texts, in very, very small cuneiform writing, are invocations to this god. He was seen as also a god of wisdom, inheriting this characteristic from a deity considered his divine ancestor, who is Enki. And within Babylonian spirituality, his father was seen as being Marduk. So he was quite an important deity. But his worship originally came from Ebla, the city of Ebla. He wasn't actually originally a Babylonian deity as such. And the Babylonians, when they adopted him, gave him the role of writing out the fate of the new year, and he became quite important in the Akitu festival, which is the Babylonian festival of the new year. His survival continued till quite late. There is some evidence that his worship, which spread to as far as Greece, Phoenicia, possibly Rome, but definitely Alexandria and parts of Egypt, where he remained surprisingly popular. In Egypt, he was seen as being equivalent to the mighty god Tehuti or Thoth. In Alexandria and among the Greeks, especially the Greeks of Anatolia, so that's modern Turkey, he was associated as being Hermes, or the Roman Mercurius, as he was a god of writing, a god of prophecy, and a god of messengers. His popularity in the modern world is a little bit niche. He is not a showy divinity. This beautiful statue that I only just recently acquired is a 1/10 replica of the original found in Iraq, which is amazingly intact and was reverently buried. Clearly it was hidden, rather than being destroyed as it was in the purges of the various Judeo-Christian layers that came later. But rather than destroy his statue, the great cult statue at his core cult site in the Azida temple in Borsippa, he was wrapped and then lovingly buried, which speaks more to his place in the spirituality of the people who could no longer safely worship him. We, of course, no longer largely suffer from that elision in our spirituality. And so slowly, you begin to see more people become aware of this beautiful, dignified, and above all, calm divinity. He very much responds to practices of quiet contemplation and meditation. And his prayers, the ones that survive, are fresh. They speak of guiding us to understand the messages and the insights gained from prophecy, and to show us how to speak truth from the written word. And so in many ways, much like the great god Tehuti or Thoth, and of course the beautiful Hermes when Hermes is not in the gym, he is a god who very much could speak to our time, a time of literacy. I have also personally used him to pray to whenever I've had problems with my computer. He seems, much like the god Hermes, to have a quiet interest in technology and anything to do with writing. But as a deity, he deserves much more awareness, given both the longevity of his cult activity and the fact that slowly an awareness is developing of his role, not just in the history of human spirituality, but in the framework of the emerging neo-pagan spirituality that we are fortunate to be living through. And so I humbly submit to your attention this beautiful being, this shining, quiet, gentle God. May you in your journeys be as equally inspired, and may insight, beauty, calm, but above all, joy robe you in all your comings, and may the great god Nabu inspire you in the night. I am Dr. Shimon de Valencia, and I am a Merry Mystic.